I actually recorded this exact video like 2 weeks ago when all these questions actually happened, but I didn't really like how it turned out or how I was acting or anything, so I'm trying this new standing up thing. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna film it again, and I think it's gonna have a little bit more structure. I'm gonna be a lot more happy with it, so let's get started. Woo! V comes out of nowhere with the first deep question of the day. What is the meaning of life? I believe it's 46. Is that the joke? 46, 24, 89, 32? I don't know. I would say the meaning of life is cheese. If you want me to be actually serious, God, but I don't think anyone wants me to be actually serious here, so we'll see. 112 asks, why 59 in Shaxra 59? Super simple, 59 is my birthday, May 9th. To coincide with that question, KDP asks, and I absolutely love this, I've been waiting for people to ask this, so what does Shaxra even mean? So this is actually a pretty simple, kind of funny story. So if anyone's ever played Kingdom Hearts, you'll know that the nobodies are the main characters' kind of, not really counterparts. They're something very, very hard to explain. Kingdom Hearts is very hard to explain. Pretty much, the nobodies' names are the character they're based off of name, but mixed up with an X. So Roxas is Sora with an X, Axel is Lee with an X, Naminé doesn't count, nominee, anime, I don't know. She doesn't count because she's like a special nobody. Xemnas is Ansem with an X. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Shaxra is literally just Sarah, which is my name, with an X. Bandai Namco comes through with a how the hell does Manmario transform into Super Saiyan Manmario? Very carefully, I assume. I think it takes a lot of concentration and yelling. How do I get Minecraft Switch for free, illegally? How do you turn into Spider-Man? Well, first you get the tattoo, and then Spider-Man, I guess. I don't know. I think that's impossible. Brian asks, why is Burger King Footless rated number 15 instead of number 1? Because we are number 1. Memes. Jordan French. It's been a while since I've read these, and oh my gosh. Said, you like mayo? Yes, I do. You like Cheez-It? Yes, I do. Who be that? Who be who? K19 asks, where's the restroom? Here, I'll show you. It's down that hall, okay? And then you take a right, past the kitchen. Jordan Fringe comes back with nonsensical questions asking, if you could have one meatball, how many would you have? Well, I would have one. Now the type of meatball, beef. Are farts music? If you want them to be, it all depends on your perception of the world, I guess. Fee asks, do cats walk? Only if they have legs. And in other case, they roll. Unless they make them prosthetic legs, then I guess technically. J-Chip Show asks, who would win in a fight? Santa or the Hulk? So if we're talking about normal Santa, the Hulk would win. If we're talking about Santa from Futurama, the Hulk would win. Mr. Pogo asks, Zelda or Mario? If you mean the character Zelda versus the character of Mario, Zelda. If you mean the franchise Legend of Zelda over the franchise Mario, Legend of Zelda. J-Chip Show asks, what's your favorite character in Danganronpa? I like the guy with the big hair. I know I say I don't trust him, but I still like him, and I hope he's not a murderer. Fee asks, who would win, Dr. Eggman or Wily? Wily. All you'd have to do is like pop Eggman. Okay, the Fist of Love comes through with a series of questions that are, goodness gracious, if you were only allowed to play one game for the rest of your life, what would it be? At this point in time, the first game that pops to mind is Breath of the Wild, because I love it the most. Recently, I've gotten back into being addicted to Stardew Valley, so I really want to play Stardew Valley, but, you know, Breath of the Wild. What movie would you like to have a sequel to that isn't slated to be made? Now, see, I was going to say The Incredibles, and you stole it. You stinker. Eragon. I would love to have a good sequel to Eragon. Eragon was an amazing book series. It literally was my childhood, and if they could actually make just a good sequel to Eragon, I would be so happy. What is your first YouTube goal to hit? Fist. Obviously, my biggest goal is to hit 1K. But even more than that, right now, my biggest goal is to hit 150. And then 500. Like, my biggest goal on YouTube right now is to just make people laugh and make them happy and bring a community together. And whatever else happens in the process of that is great, but that's always been like my main thought on YouTube is I want to be able to bring a happy, fun, like, family community together. And then I saw things like C&D and Jordan Fringe, and I was like, that's what I want. I want a happy, community-driven family where everyone gets along and is just there having fun. Yoda Nobanga asks, what's the best way to fillet a fish? Okay, I actually know this. So you take your knife, you take your fish, your head is here, your scale is here. You cut off the top fin, you cut off the bottom fin, you slit open the fish. You get all the guts and the gills out, you cut off their head. You descale, which you pretty much just take your knife, go against the grain of the scales, and just... It sounds a lot worse than that, trust me. Then you take your fish, no head is here, but the tail is still here. You slit on either side of the tail, then you fillet it this way, keeping as close to the bone as possible. You take it off, you got a fillet of the fish. You put it on the side of the thingamajig, you turn it over, you do it again. You take a hose and you spray off all the blood and guts that you have just made on your sidewalk, deck, porch, wherever else you're doing this, because you're a horrible person who just killed and filleted a fish. J Chip Show asks, how much would a woodchuck chuck if a wood could chuck wood? As much as he dang well wanted to, I'm sure. As much as he physically was able to. Hashtag Bandai Namco comes back with the just crazy questions. How do I get free Switch games? Once again, illegally. The Fist of Love asks, is it better to read a book before the movie or after the movie? So I feel like this is actually kind of a heated discussion. I don't feel like you should have to read a book to go see a movie, but I really feel like it's up to you. Like for me, I'm not gonna read the book before I go see the movie. I'm gonna go see the movie, I'm gonna go see the movie, judge how well I like that universe and that content, and then I'm gonna go read the book. I personally believe you shouldn't have to read the book. I think if you want to be immersed in that, the problem with it is, if you read the book, if you're like super hyped to watch the movie, and then you read the book, and then the movie's ruined for you, I feel like you should watch the movie first, then read the book and have the movie ruined for you. So I say after. Bandai Namco asks, why do you like reptiles? Okay, so if anyone is new here and doesn't know, I have 2 snakes, 3 geckos, an American toad, and... wait, is that all? Yeah, that's pretty much it at this point. I don't know. I love reptiles. Like, I've had mammals, and I just prefer reptiles. Like, I have a dog and I have a cat. The thing with reptiles is they don't require your attention. They're cool if you give them attention, but they don't need it. For the most part, although reptiles tend to have more upkeep in their tanks, they're also just, from what I've noticed, less upkeep than having mammals. Because I've had pet guinea pigs, I've had pet rats, I've never had a hamster, but I've taken care of hamsters and ferrets and rabbits and all of that array of pet animals that you keep in cages, as well as cats and dogs. And to me, being able to get a creature that doesn't need to have affection but enjoys affection, and then being able to set them up in their own little environment, like their own little world, that's their planet to them, that's everything. And be like their caretaker. It's such a cool concept to me. It's so cool to have like their own little habitat, their little life, and you're the one who's caring for them. That tank, that's all that reptile knows. And I made that. And it's just so cool to me. Plus they look really cool. And there's so many different kinds, there's so many different species, so many different things to learn about them, so many different paint jobs and subspecies, and it's just so cool. I'm seriously gonna have to make my own separate video of how much I love reptiles and just the awesomeness that is having reptiles, but yeah, that's why I like reptiles. All of these questions are amazing. Thank you so much everyone for asking them, but by far, kind of one of my favorite questions in here is asked by Yoda Nobanga, and it says, how'd you meet hubby? Shax? This is actually a really, really fun story, and it's one of those, stop looking at me like that. You're judging me, and I can feel it, and I don't like it. You're a dog. Stop judging me. This is actually a really fun story, and it's one of those 1 in a million kind of stories. That's why I like telling it so much. So I met my husband on Tinder. We had both dated our fair share of people before we met each other, and the first night that we ever hung out and met each other, it was legitimately love at first sight, and I knew this was the man I was going to spend the rest of my life with. He didn't know until he was in his car on the way home that I was the one he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. This is a story that we've talked about many a time. Yeah, we've been married for almost 3 years now, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. And I love him to death, and he's my little schmookums. Those are all the questions that we have for today. Hopefully we'll do another one of these really soon. I absolutely love answering questions. Thank you all so much for leaving your questions in my Discord. Hey, if you're not part of my Discord, you should be. It's great. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to have you. We're a great little community here, and we're building our family slowly but surely. That link's going to be in the description down below. I'm sorry it took me so long to put this video out there. Yeah, that's it. I don't have. If you like my content, please go ahead and subscribe and click that bell if you want to be notified whenever I'm streaming or putting out new videos. I have a Twitter. I'm never there. If you want to come to my Twitter and never be there with me, that'd be great. That's all I got. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you all have a blessed rest of your day. And checks out.